So what tee height should you use with your irons on the teeing ground? We're going to talk about the different tee heights and what it could do for you. Also, what does it say about you as a golfer if you're using any of the different tee heights that we talk about in today's video? Remember, like, subscribe if you like this content. Also down below, let me know, how far do you hit your 7-iron? In the comments, let me know. So what tee height options do you have? You have ball on the ground, just thrown down, put on a nice bit of turf. The knock up, where we knock a bit of turf up so it sits slightly up, still very much on turf. We've got low tee, which is probably the most popular, or should be. Then we've got medium tee, and then we have high tee. These are all options available. And then we also have, maybe not in the US as much, but UK, the winter mat. So where the ball's on an artificial tee, an artificial bit of ground, which you could use any one of those heights or from the artificial ground. So these tee heights will change as well, subject to some different lofts, but let's talk about when they can be used and how they can be used as well. So the ball on the ground, I would say next to never would I personally just put the ball on the ground. It's only generally very good if I was going to play literally a knockdown shot, so ball back in my stance, handle forwards, weight forwards, and I'm going to punch it, try and maybe hit it low if the wind is out, and I would do that with nearly any loft of club. I'm just trying to really get the feel of punching that ball low and forwards like it is on the ground. But to be fair, I would still do that from a knocked up bit of ground. Now the knocked up bit of ground is obviously very popular with better players. You'll see lots of good players do this because it gives you that combination of feeling from the ground but on a really nice lie. It's kind of the lazy person's tee in some ways. And for me, this just feels like I've got a really good lie. I could hit any loft from this. I can play a punch, I can play a regular shot. It really doesn't matter, and I feel like I'm going to get a really nice strike on that. And it's a friendly lie from the tee. And it's the fact it's not that dissimilar to the normal lies that I get on the course. Now, the low tee. So low tee is where it literally is kind of lined up with the bottom 2 or 3 grooves. You literally barely got a bit of that tee poking out, like about a nail, kind of not even halfway up my nail up. That's putting the ball very much in the middle of the bat, the bit I want to hit. And the low tee, again, any loft of iron. And I would say this is the most go-to for most people watching. This is the one you should be going to. Puts the ball in the position of your club where you can still have a good low point control, still good angle of attack, get a good strike, still get ground contact as well. So you are, like I say, controlling that low point. It's my go-to if I'm feeling nervous, if I want a bit of help, if I've not been striking it that well, and it should be the go-to for most players. Medium tee, we're now like above my nail height. This is far too high. This is going to get those kind of shots where if you watch what happens here. So I have had to pluck that off to make any kind of shot which gets the ball to the target. See, I've gone divot, 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 no divot now. And I think you can see the pattern. If you're somebody who wants to tee it up this high, unless you're trying to do something, I mean, there is a reason to do this, which I'll show you at the end of the video, which might surprise you. This one, no contact with the ground. I actually fin that because I'm really trying to adjust to a super high tee. If you're feeling most comfortable off one of these two, it's definitely saying you're not so good at controlling low point, which is something you'll be able to use this to help you do further on in the video. Then the final tee height just to be aware of is the mat. And the reason why you'll see people like me and other players generally throw it down on a mat is a little bit like semi-rough. It's not even fairway. So hitting from the ground off a mat is absolutely similar to the low tee. If you can get a low enough tee in there, do. If not, be careful. It's very easy to tee these up too high. So from the mat, definitely from the ground, is a great way of getting good strikes and hitting some good shots. So let's think about tee height a little bit more. This is my 2-iron. My 2-iron is going to be teed up on the low to between low and medium. I'm basically putting it right in the middle of the club, and I'm not hitting it down as much on my 2-iron. So the lower lofted iron, if I hit one here, next to no tee, that's a pretty straight, good shot. I'm more kind of 1 to 2 down, not taking much of a divot. Now as the lofts change, let's go to my 5-iron. Let's bring that tee back. This 5-iron for me can be paid from the ground to the same height as that 2-iron. Because again, this one for me is going to be 2 to 4 down. That's angle of attack. We start brushing the ground a little bit, but I'm not really moving much of a divot out of there. Now if we go to my 7-iron, that's going to get pushed right down near the ground. This one I am now going to try and play this one more like 4 to 6 down, so angle of attack's going to be passing more down, definitely more ground interaction. I thinned that one, so even from the tee I've been saved. If I hit a proper strike with that 7-iron, might help. That from the non-tee, see how the tee does help. For most of us, putting a little tee is a helpful thing to do. So you can see there's a good strike, dead straight ball, and then turf. And then finally, if I move to my 9-iron, I'm going to bring this tee back. This again, we're going right down into the low tee. Because again, I'm going to be playing this more on a downward angle of attack naturally. Plenty of loft. Ball, then turf. And you can see how I've hit X amount of shots there, and I've only taken divots with some of them. The loft you're playing on that par 3 or that hole will dictate tee height a little bit as well, and it's something you should work in. Bear in mind, the lower the loft gets and the lower you tee it up, the more chances probably got of cutting, which you can use. Getting a more neutral tee height for the lower loft might just help you keep that ball a little bit straighter. Now, what is your tee height saying about you, and how can it help you play some better golf? So next time you're at the range, play this game. I've got 3 different tee heights. So high, medium, and ball on the ground. I've got a 6-iron. Use whatever club you want. Play a shot with your 6-iron. You're waiting for a half decent strike. So wherever, if I don't strike this one, I'll do another. Oh, and I've struck that nice. So visually, all I want to do now is hit from the other tees. Try not to change ball position, but I'm going to change delivery. Try and mimic the same height, oh yeah, identical, same flight for all different tees. What this will help you do is control low point a little bit better with loft delivery, something that most amateurs are really not so good at, which is why you struggle from different lies on the fairway. Oh, the higher tee is harder. It's the same flight, but I caught off the top of the club. So working on different tee heights from your range mat, on the course, whenever you can, is a great way of practicing different lies on the course, which often you are struggling with. Such a simple way, improving your strike, improving your low point control, and helping lowering your scores. Remember, how far do you hit your 7-iron? If you want to find out how I should hit it, this video here.